guys. Hold on a minute, guys. Having technical difficulties. There we go. Just rotate device. This is whoa. There we go. Whoa. Chill. Whoa. It's too close. Why are you doing this? You're not supposed to do this. I'm just gonna fix it. I'm in my yard. I didn't want to do a live outside inside the house today. And plus, since my Mets already lost, I figured, well, let me do a live. I'm gonna pick these straight. I'm gonna go like this. I got here. This is the shed back of me. This is my yard, guys. I'm gonna show you my yard. That's my fire pit. That's where I burn all the wood. This is where I taken out wood from this tree because I have a stove in the house in downstairs, so a wood stove. That's the propane gas. That's the basement. That's a full furnace. That's 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, a kitchen, a laundry room. That's the upstairs. This is my hoopty. And then all this from that pole all the way down here is ours. This guy have cows here, but he gave them away. Well, he didn't give them away. He put them away. Well, anyway, welcome to the King Geo Show. So I wanted to talk money today because we get tired of talking about COVID and vaccination and all this kind of crap. That we were all interested in. Hold on, guys. Let me tighten this up. Hold on, guys. Here. Okay. So let's get away from COVID. Hey, Melissa, how you doing? Yeah, night combo. Yeah. Because I want to get away from all this COVID thing and all these shots and all that kind of stuff. So I want to talk about money because everybody's talking about money, right? And when you come think about it, I may not like the people in this country because some of them are assholes, but I do love my country. And this is the only place that if you put your mind to it, you can make money. And there's a lot of ways that you can make money. It's that we just don't put our minds to it. Like a lot of people say, you know what? How can I make money? How can I invest? Think about all the stuff that we waste every year on stupid shit. If we took that money, let's just say if you take out of your paycheck, if you take a paycheck and you take $1 every week, put it so you take 1 week, you take $1, boom, put it away. The following week you take 2, put it away. The following week you take 3, you put it away. The following week you pick 4, you put it away. You start taking away every week. You start taking away some money from your paycheck. At the end of the year, you're gonna have a lot of good. I mean, you have good money, and you can invest in that money, right? And you can do basically anything that you want to basically do. A lot of people don't know about this. Look, you can. I'll give you an example. You can get yourself a house, right? You can get your first time house. You can buy your house either through FHA loan or through a USDA loan, but mostly through an FHA loan because USDA loan does not allow you to do this. But you get an FHA loan. You get yourself a loan, and you buy yourself a house that has 4 houses. It's 3 levels or 4 levels, right? It's a duplex, a triplex, a quadruplex. Duplex is 2, triplex is 3. So then they just say you get a mortgage that's like $1,200, $1,500 a month. You got the thing with FHA is that you can stay there for a year. You have to live there for a year. So you stay at one of the houses within the house. You stay at one of the houses for 1 year. And the other 3 or 2 or 1 that's left, you rent that out. So what you do? So let's just say you buy yourself a duplex. You buy yourself a duplex. That duplex, you charging that person X amount of dollars. So that duplex is paying for your mortgage, right? And the money that you got for your mortgage, you can do whatever you want to. It's your money. Of course, you're gonna have to pay water and light and stuff like that. So if you get a house that's a triplex, then it's even more because then you have you and then you have 2 other tenants. So one tenant pays for your mortgage, and then the other tenant is passive income. You could do with that as you please, and you have the money that you're saving up. And then once that year is up, you can go and apply for another FHA loan. And you get yourself another house, another duplex, another triplex, whatever the case may be. That's a way to make money. That's easy, and you don't have to have an exorbitant amount of credit. Your credit has to be decent. You know, your debt to income ratio has to be decent. You cannot have more debt than you do have income. That's a no. That's a no brainer. But there's ways to make money in this country. You can open up your own little business. If you know how to do electrical work, you can go out there and put your service out there. Say, put an ad in the paper, or there's a lot of apps out there that for free. Say, look, I'm a certified electrician. I could do electrical work. I could do this. I could do that. I'm a certified mechanic. I know how to do mechanic. I know how to do nails. I know how to do hair. There's always a way to make money. Always. In this country of America, as great as it is, as much assholes that we have here in this country, because this country is so divided, there are opportunities to go out there and to make money. Make money. Think about it. Just think about it this way. Last year, Walmart made $559 billion in profit. $559 billion. I was just watching a show a guy did that even if Walmart was to give this 1.3 million U.S. employees a $10 raise, that means that they would have to give out $25 billion a year more. But they're still making 527 or 537 million a year anyways. You know what I'm saying? So this is where this is why, like, when I was working in United Airlines, is that they did profit sharing. Profit sharing, when United Airlines made money, you make money. Sears and Starbucks. Sears was the same way. When Sears first started in the late 1900s, their employees owned parts of the stock, which is a good thing. That's what people need to learn. That's what socialism is all about. Socialism is that you are the one that you're getting paid for what you're worth. This universal health care. You're working for a company. The company's not going to pay you $10 an hour. The company's going to pay you what you are worth. They're going to pay you, even if they have to pay you $40 or $50, $60 an hour, they'll pay you because they're making way much more than that. But they're paying you your worth. That's you working. Socialism is you working for the government, is working for the government. Not this capitalism that they make all this money and they don't do nothing. Look at Bezos. I understand that Bezos has his money and whatever the case may be, and he can do as he pleases with his money, right? But come on, think about it. You got those billions of dollars, and look at countries where there are people out there that have no food to eat, have no way have no drinkable water, has no electricity. You can help those people out. You really can. You really can. You got Jeff Bezos, who has a company. You think $20 an hour is going to make it in America? No. Why don't you give these people $30 or $40 an hour? Why don't you give them health care? Why don't you give them 401ks? You know, a good employee. If you pay your employee good, your employee. It's not the other way around. That the customer is always right. That's cliche. But your employee is the one that makes you. Your employee is the one that makes your company. You pay your employee right. You pay your employee right. That's what's gonna happen. Because let me tell you something. Walmart's one of the companies that you see them with $559 million. Out of those 1.3 million people who work for Walmart, most of them receive public assistance. And when they receive public assistance, the government subsidizes that. So the government pays. I think Walmart. I live in Puerto Rico. The government pays Walmart $1,000 per employee that they take their government assistance. So that's $1,000. Now imagine that's $1,000 they're taking per employee. I don't know, you have to be there a certain amount of months for Walmart to get that money. But the point is that they're making money. That's why when you sign the application, when you go to Target, you go to McDonald's, you go to Burger King, you go to those places, and they ask you in the application, have you or a member of your family has ever been on SNAP? Did you take SNAP? The reason that they ask you that you take SNAP, because once they know that you take SNAP, meaning welfare, meaning food stamp, meaning SSI, or whatever, not SSI, but on food stamp, they can send that and they turn it into the government office, and the government office knows that they know that you're working, and they're going to send an incentive to that company because they hire you. So if you stay there 3 or 4 months, that company, which is Walmart, Target, all these big companies, they have that, and then they will get incentivized later on. So they don't lose. So if they don't lose, why can they not give you what you're worth? Right? And when I say making money in this country, you can. You gotta do is just motivate yourself. What you like to do, whatever it is that you like to do, motivate it. Do it. Don't let anybody get in your way. If you, as people may say, oh, this is a stupid idea. It's a stupid idea to them, but to you, it's a great idea. To you, it's a fabulous idea. And you gotta just go for it. Forget about the naysayers. You will always have naysayers. Forget about them. Misery loves company. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like the other day, I was talking to my nephew, and we were talking about this type of things that people that have money, that if he sees his boy in the street and he's hustling and he's doing his thing, he will help him out, because we as people, we always talk negative about our own, about people who are hustling. Oh, look at this person. Why help him? Why help him? Like we were talking about Omi, and well, you got to give it to Omi because he's hustling. He's cheating people, but he's hustling. So you got to give it to him. So that's been my perspective from when my nephew that I spoke to 2 weeks ago about that. I mean, it's true. It's true. We have to support our own, and we have to we have a tendency to support other people. We have a tendency to support big corporations, but we don't support our own. We prefer going to Walmart instead of going to our local mom and pop shop, and stuff like that. So if you see someone in your town that's trying to do good, tell that person, good job, good this, good that. But going back to making the money, you have to make money. I mean, you can make money. Let's say you can do DoorDash, you can do Uber, you can do that. See, but the thing with that, you have to make a lot of money. And the thing with that is that at the end of the year, if you're not a good tax person, you have to pay taxes on that. So you have to keep record of your miles. You have to keep record of this, that. So at the end of the year, when you go do your taxes, you don't pay too much taxes. So I've read the other day how these big corporations, how they give $1 million. They give $1 million to a company for charity, and after a year or two, these charities, gives them back like $80,000 or $90,000 a year. Gives them back for you giving them away $1 million, and that's income. $80,000 a year. I don't know if it's true, but that's what I heard. I haven't looked into it. I mean, just imagine you give away, if you don't want to mess with the government, you give $1 million to a charity. And that charity sets you up for $80,000 or $50,000 or even $30,000 for life every year. That's good money. You don't have to do shit. All right? So there is a way to make money in this country. You just got to find your niche. Find what you want to do. Forget about this theory about why mom and pop like, oh, you could have been a doctor, you could have been a lawyer, because that's the first thing our parents tell us. I'm sorry. Oh, you could be a doctor, you could be a lawyer. You got, let's just say, man, you could be anything that you want to be. As long as you put your mind to it, that's what you're going to be. Plain and simple. We put, as parents, we put too much pressure on our kids from begin with. Doctors and lawyers and blah, blah, blah. Some kids don't want to become doctors. Some kids don't want to be lawyers. Some kids want to be dancers. Some kids want to be singers. Some kids want to be this. You got to let them do what they want to do. And you have to, as parents, you have to support them. As ludicrous and as stupid as you may think it is, that's their life. That's their decision. But yes, so as great as the country as it is, you got to go out there and you have to make it work. And how do you do it? You wake up every morning. You hustle. First, you put God first. That's the first and most important thing. You got to put God first. But above all things, you put God first. Then after you pray, you put God above all things. Then you got to go out there and you hustle. You got to do your game. You got to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. You're going to come home at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Whatever it can be. You got to do it. And it's not, Melissa, it's not just, that's not just the American dream. That's just the dream, period. That's the dream, period. Think about it this way. You have other people who come from other countries, right, and make it here. I saw this Mexican guy who came from Mexico, obviously, right? And he was working for a truck company when he got here. And in 5 or 6 years, he opened up his own trucking company. Right? Why can't we do that? Because you know why? Because they already come motivated. They come because they don't have nothing in their country. Their country is corrupt. Then they come here, they bust their ass. Because if you ever seen a Mexican work, and I have, they get paid. And when they get paid, that's why they sleep like 5 or 6 in a room. They all share that same room. They all share. They all divide. They all divide their money to send home. I mean, to pay the rent. Some of it goes to drink, but then the rest is sent it home. But they bust their ass, and as they busting their ass, they are learning their trade. You understand me? They're learning how to be carpenters. They're learning how to be electricians. They're learning how to be cutting grass on lawnmowers. Gardening. They know how to do that. So what? So if they're that motivated, what's going to happen? They're going to end up opening up their own business. So even if you open up your small gardening business or landscaping business, and it's small, but it's yours, you're working for you. You're not working for no other person. Because when you work for another person, you got to do what they say. And it's cool at the beginning because you're getting your feet wet. But there are some people that take this boss way too far, and they take it way, way, way. And I'm talking about way up here. I'm like, yo, slow your horse, man. Slow your horse down. So that's what you got to do. So they come to this country. Other people, Indians, Chinese. If you look at basically all of our doctors now are what? Indians and Chinese. Because they come to this country and they bust their ass. They bust their ass. If you go to New York, if you go to the Bronx, and you go to Brooklyn, what do you see there? Bodegas. These bodegas before were Puerto Rican owned. Now they Indian owned. You see little Te Amo boutique store. They sell cigarettes, cigars, and all that kind of stuff, beer. Those are Indians. Those are Arabs. Those are Arabs. And the amazing thing about it is that everybody seems not to know this, but Chinese people are buying land in the United States at an alarming rate. You don't see it because you don't see it in the media, but you look in every corner of the United States of America, the Chinese people are buying America's land, and they're paying double, even triple the amount of what the land is worth. There's a reason. I'm not going to say there's going to be this conspiracy behind it because I don't want to go that far. But if the Chinese are buying land at an alarming rate, right, and they're buying it for triple the value, it's because of something. And it's not me. You can Google it up. It's the truth. So if they're buying that, it's for a reason. So back to the thing. So they come to this country and they bust their ass. They bust their ass. So why can't we, that this is our country, why can't we do the same? Forget about going to college and becoming a doctor. If that's not what you want to do, forget about it. You don't want to become a lawyer, forget about it. If you don't want to become this, forget about it. But become something. Go to a trade school. Go to a trade school. Become a chef. Become an electrician. Become a plumber. Become something. So that when you get out of that school, boom, that's your trade. That's you. Right now, you know what's popping right now? A lot of people don't know about it. Right now, popping is cybersecurity. With all these hackers going around, companies are going to want to have the best of the best in security system. And that's, security system only takes for you to go to school maybe 6 months. You get a certificate in 6 months, and then you work for a company, and then after you get that experience, you go solo. But they're making a lot of money because a lot of these big companies are feeling vulnerable with cyber. You saw that the gas company who got jacked last month, they had to pay over $3 million because someone hacked the system. So if you're one of those people that can help a company maintain their money within themselves and not get hacked, you're gonna make good money, because what happens is that here you go and say, look, King Geo is the best. His encryption is the best, and then King Geo is gonna go from here, and they're gonna take King Geo from here. They're gonna refer me to somebody else, and then I'm gonna do a good job with them. They're gonna refer me, and they're gonna somebody else. And before you know it, you're the creme of the creme of authority. Coming to you, but this is reconnecting because I don't even have. Do I have the internet of the house? Let me take the internet of the house off. So a lot of people decided, you know what? I'm gonna go a different path. A lot of people. I mean, look at these people. Look at Tim Robbins and Gary E. These are people who have invested, but they're talkers, they're motivated speakers. And that's what they do. They get money motivating people. So if you're out there and you say, so what should I do? How do I get out of this rut? First thing you do is take that step. Take that step and say, this is what I'm going to do. Find the things that you got to do and do them. Just do them. You know, don't get distracted by anything. If your mother tells you, oh, that's a dumb idea, okay, mom, thank you. If your dad tells you that's a dumb idea, okay, thank you. If your cousin tells you, oh, that's a dumb idea, thank you. Then you know what you do? You don't surround yourself about those people, even though they're your parents and they're your family members. You surround yourself with people that say, you know what, you could do it. That's a great idea. Come on, I'll help you do it. I'll help you in that. I got your back. Those are the people that you need in your life. Motivationals. People who's going to motivate you. People who are going to help you. People who are going to help you grow. Because, guys, life is not just about you growing, living, shitting, paying rent. No, life is more than that. Life is more. We have to be attuned with God. That's the first thing. But besides putting God, like I said, put God first and foremost. But besides God, the life that we have is, number one, is to leave a legacy behind. Number two, to live it to the best of your ability. That's why I say when I reach 60 years old, I said I'm retiring. I want to quit. I'm not going to work for nobody else. If at 60, if I don't have my own job, I'm just going to retire. I'm going to do something because I'm not going to work for another man. I'm not going to go make another man rich. They'd be 70, 80, 90 years old, and then I can't even barely move. I stay in my home while this person is already dead, but his heirs or his kids already inherited the money, and they're enjoying it. They're enjoying what I work for. Because the people say, "Oh, they work for it." No, they didn't work it. They might write a letter or they might draw something, but who's the one that's making it? The workers. So I don't want to bust my ass like that. I want to work another 10 years, and then I want that, if I got 30 years or 40 years left in my life, I want to be able to enjoy those 40 years. Because at the beginning of your life is to mature, to get experience in life. And then after a certain age, like, yo, I want to enjoy. Because going to a club, okay, that's enjoyable when you're young. Meeting people, that's enjoyable. Going here, that's enjoyable. But it comes to a point that there's something more of life that you want to do. There's something more in life you want to do. Life is not just stay home, watching TV, and playing video games. That's not life. You could play video games, but it's more out there than video games. It's more out there than life itself. So you go out there, you're like, you know what? Like, let's say you like to buy, you like this bottle. Like, oh man, what can I do with this bottle? What can I design it to? And you go and you design it, you make it your own. Like, I could probably sell this out there for 5 cents, 10 cents, $1. This out there, okay, here it costs $1, right? You know what they do in Puerto Rico? In Puerto Rico, these kids and adults, they take this bottled water, which is maybe 25 cents or even less if you buy them by the pack. It comes out to $2.90, and they sell it for $1. So you bought it for $2.90, and you sell it for $1. 24 of them come in the pack. And you tell me, in Puerto Rico, it's hot all the time, so you just stand at a busy light, and you're selling these babies like pancakes. That's the way to do it. I saw another guy selling coffee. He made his own coffee. He sold coffee outside. People go to the red light. Well, let me get a cup of coffee. Blah blah. Boom, 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 boom. Here's a coffee. There's lots of ways to make money. I mean, you don't want to be. If you want to be rich, multi-billionaire, yo, go for it. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Just go for it. Don't. As long as you have your values. As long as you don't step on people. As long as you don't hurt people while you're going up. As long as you do those kind of things, you're gonna be alright. You're gonna be alright. But the name of the game here is to hustle. If you don't hustle, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it. That's why I'm trying so hard to do this with YouTube. I'm trying to make it work so I can hustle, so I can do videos every day. And maybe doing videos every day, one of these niches come out, and I'll get a lot of views, and I get a lot of people, and I get a lot of subscribers, and I make boom, 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 like, wow, King Geo made it because he hustled. And like I've always said, I hustle, I make money. The world is making money with me because I cannot, I've learned through life that I cannot take that car with me when I'm dead. I cannot take that car with me when I'm dead. You see this right here? This is my barbecue. I cannot take that barbecue when I'm dead. I cannot take none of this when I'm dead. Thank you, Melissa. I cannot take none of this when I'm dead. Hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. Oh, thank you, thank you. That one over there is my fire pit. You see that fire pit right there? That's where I burn my wood. Like for Christmas time, I'm gonna take like 2 pernils and stuff like that, and I'm gonna put it there because that wood. Well, like I did pernil here. I did pernil here the other day, and I put it in here. I left it there for 6 hours, and with the carbon burning, oh, the taste is so good. I'm in North Carolina. I just moved to North Carolina a year, February, March, April, May, June, July, a year and a half. It'll be a year and a half. The 3rd of August. It'll be a year and a half, and I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's different. Oh, you're in Maine. You're in Lobster Town. Oh, I would love lobsters. You know, the lobsters in Maine are different from the lobsters in Puerto Rico. Lobsters in Puerto Rico, they don't have claws. Maine is cold. I've been to was it Rhode Island? I went somewhere that's close to Maine, like 2 years ago for vacation. I took 2 days off. Not 2 years ago. I'm sorry. Before I came here in 2020. I was like around 2018, 19. I took a trip down. It was close to Maine. I think it was Vermont. Was it Vermont? I think so. It was nice. See, Maine is a state that it's a small state. So in order for you to make something in Maine, it has to be something big. Because it's such a small state that your ideas would have to grow out of Maine. Oh, your son is a commercial. Yeah. That makes money. See, does he own? But that's Melissa. Is that his own? Is that his own business? I can imagine your cost of living is through the roof because you got the boat, you got the house. Is Maine an expensive state to live in? Because is he working for himself or somebody else? Because that's the thing about fishing and lobsterman. You could but it's expensive though, because you have to have money to have your own boat. You have to have a crew, and every season is different. Would you make more money in Maine? Let's say, would he make more money in Maine than he would in Alaska? You live in an area, the average cost into a 2-bedroom apartment is $2,000 a month. Wow. You ever thought of getting a house for that money? I'm getting hats that says King Geo, people. Oh, you own your house. Okay. Yeah, it's just like New York. In New York, a 2-bedroom is close to $1,800, close to $2,000 too. Even in the slummiest place in the world, the Bronx. The Bronx used to be bad. I'm just giving you a ratio idea. No, I understand. But it's still, for Maine, that's expensive. And to pay $2,000 a month for a rent, you're gonna have to have a good job. I don't know what kind of jobs Maine has besides fishing. Yeah, and that's good that your husband's a hustler. You got to, man. You gotta hustle. If you don't hustle, you stay broke. That's the whole thing about life. You gotta hustle. But if you want something, let me tell you something. You don't have to be rich to own a Ferrari. Yeah, construction is big. But the thing about construction, the good thing about construction is that if you're the owner of a construction company, you feel me? Or if you're a contractor. Because for laboring, You bust. I mean, it's a good way to learn experience. It's a good way to get your experiences. It's a good way to get your feet wet. And then once you get your feet wet, go on your own. Because you'll be mostly doing all the work, and your boss may pay you. Okay, you may say, I'm going to give you $60,000-$70,000 a year, but at $60,000-$70,000 a year, that's going to cost your back. That's going to cost your knees. That's going to cost your elbows. So you better off, learning what you got to learn. Take some cues from some of his customers and smile. So when you on your own, like, oh yeah, King Gio did this. He used to work for this guy. So if you work for this guy, that means he's pretty good. And you make your own clientele. The point thing is, oh, he's a master carpenter, so that's good. See, so instead of your husband instead of being a fisherman, he should open up his own business and start low. Because to start low. You see what your husband can do? You said, you just gave me an idea. Oh, your son is a fisherman. You just gave me an idea. You can buy property for a low price, fix them up, and then resell them and double your money. Because your husband already knows how to do that. So the labor costs, you already got the labor costs down. Yeah, you got to be a visionary. See, if I would have had your husband's skills, my house would have been done differently. Well, I bought the house like this, but I would have been fixing on it. But I have arthritis, and so I can't do too many things. That's another thing that I got to do. I got to take that away from me. I got to stop giving excuses for that. But I would have done so many things to this house. I saw a house, I shit you not, I saw a house the other day, 2 acres here where I live at, 2 acres. The inside had 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, $79,000. You didn't have to do much to it because I saw it. The basement with the basement, the column, the beams were good. It was a crawling space. It was a crawling basement. Everything was good inside. So let's say it's 79,000. So let's say it's 79,000. You put in $30,000 worth of construction. You fix it up with $30,000. Now you're paying $79,000, $89,99, $109. So you can sell that. You can sell that $79,000 house. You can sell it for $150,000, $160,000, and you made yourself a profit. Because I was gonna get the house. I was gonna borrow the $79,000 from a person who borrows money. He lends you money, or she lends you money to buy homes and re-up houses and stuff like that. But the thing with that is, like, I get $79,000. Let's say I get $100,000. I get $100,000, and then I have to, every month I would have to give that person $1,000 and some odd dollars until I pay off that loan. And if I get $100,000, the house cost me $79,000. The rest I put it to fix her up. And then once I fix her up, and if I can't sell the house quick, I'm still gonna pay this guy $1,000 a month, or even more. So that's something that that you gotta get the money, get the house. Hopefully it takes you 2 weeks to 3 weeks. Maybe let's say it takes you a month to do it, and boom, and you sell it. Because houses, the housing right now is booming. People are paying double of what houses are worth. So if you can get yourself a good house that you can fix it up real quick and resell it, you're good. Or if you have the money, you rebuild it and you rent it out. The best people to rent out is people to Section 8, because you always get your money. The only thing with Section 8 that some people are pigs, so you gotta be careful. You gotta vet them out. Make sure that they don't have no evictions from all the places. That you check out the references. Make sure that they're good tenants, because some people that when they're on Section 8, they destroy your house, and then when you come, you have to fix your house. It's going to cost you more to fix it than it is anything else. Yes, lumber is through the roof. Lumber That's why now it costs you double from the ground up. It costs you double to make a house because lumber is through the roof. Prices, what you were paying last year for sheetrock, what you were paying last year for a 4x4 or 2x4 or whatever the case may be, it is off the roof. So anyone that's doing a house now is paying double, and they got the money to do it, I guess. So it is what it is. But I wouldn't buy a house. I wouldn't, with money, even if I had a little bit of money, I wouldn't start off buying a house now. It's no point. It's too expensive. It's way too expensive. You know, so you have to wait for things to come down. Well, the wealthy, that's what wealthy people do. They build, and then they charge you off the yin yang for you to live there. I mean, if you were wealthy, you'd probably do the same thing too. Not me personally, I wouldn't do that. I would probably build and give to the poor, because that's who I am. Like I said, I cannot take that barbecue with me. I cannot take my car with me. I cannot take none of this with me when I'm dead. So why not let other people enjoy it? What they do with it once you give it to them, that's up to them. At least you feel good inside. So you know what, I helped that person out. Oh, you got your house through $115,000 out to auction, worth over $300,000. All right, see, that's good. You see, that's another way to go. Now it's worth a little bit more than double than what you pay. Because double would be $150,000. You only pay $113,000, so that's a good investment. And if you add it to it, and if you add it to the house, that even gives it more of a value. The point is not giving it value. The point is giving liquidity to the house, and that's the important part. You know, just people just don't buy a house and just let it sit there. Add to the house. It's going to cost you time. It's going to cost you time, money. But little by little, you add a little bit. You can add a new kitchen. You can add a new bathroom. Because later on, it's going to be worth. Man, my house, this house was built in 1952, and I don't think anything was added to this. But the basement they finished it because the lady, the owner of this house, she used to clean this yard all to herself. She used to clean the downstairs herself, but her hips went out. She could no longer go from the upstairs to the downstairs, so they made the downstairs bathroom, kitchen, and all of that. So you say you make kitchen improvements? Yes, you have to. You have to make improvements because it gives the house more. It gives the house more of a value. You know, most people don't stay there. This is not like we're not living in the ages where our parents lived in our ages. You know. Well, my land here, I have close to half an acre. You got new windows, that's good. I got close to half an acre. So most people, it's not like nowadays. My mother built her house in Puerto Rico in '88. She finished it, and she's still living in the same house. But those from my parents are OG. So today's generation, they probably end up living in the house maybe 4 to 5 years, and then they move and they get themselves another house. So as you're living at the house, you improve on it. You put a brand new kitchen. You put you update the bathroom. You know, stuff like that. Because let me tell you something. I'm a city boy, and I wish, you know, when I was in college one day, not too long ago, I was in my ethics class. In my ethics class, was it in my ethics class? Yeah, my ethics class. They asked us, no, it was my English class, I'm sorry. And they asked us, what do we prefer? They told us to write an essay on it. Do we prefer city life over country life, and why? And I said, well, I prefer, you know, I'm a city boy. So I prefer city life because city life teaches you, you know. There are things that you can live here. You can live out here in the country, and you can see. Look, you can see how nice this is. Look, you see. You can live out here, but there's one thing that living out here in the country, living out here in the suburbs won't teach you is survive. Survive your streets, meaning you have a lot of people who are slick. You have a lot of people who, if they think they can get away, if they think they can get things away from you, if they think that they can play you for a sucker, they will do that. You know, and when you're born, when you're from the city, those things don't happen because you're astute. You already know the game. You know, why do you think so many people get caught up in this social security scam? Oh, the Arab, the Indians. Oh, your social security, your social, they call you. Your social security is about to get stopped. We need you to call in so we. Anyone who knows anything from the city knows social security don't stop. Social security don't call you. Your social security is for life. Then your number is for life. The IRS scam. How do they do that? Because they go after elderly people. They don't know people who live out here in the country. They don't know because they don't go outside here to know about what city life is all about. All right. So when they see people who live in the streets, when they see people who are dressed in drag queens and guys being girls, they don't know that because they're here. Right. So they're shut out from the world. Now, what this teaches you, that city doesn't teach you, is the friendship, is the camaraderie amongst neighbors, is the loving thy neighbor. That one neighbor, something happens to their neighbor, you go help them out. They something happens to you, they help you out. You learn how to fix your own shit. Excuse my French. You know, you know how to do your own electricity. You know how to do your own plumbing. You know how to do your own grass. You know how to do your French drains. Those are the things. But city boys come who never worked in construction will never know how to do that. So there's a give and take in both. But if I wish I would have learned. I wish my parents would have known a little bit more in construction, and then I wouldn't have to hire people to do some things that I know that I could do. Because this guy right here, I'm gonna show you. Hold on. See, this guy right here, he owns all this land, right? You see the house right there? That's a ranch there. It has his bulls and cows, but he took them off. So that house right there, the house was burnt like 2 years ago. That's his house. That's his house right there. All right. So that house was burnt 2 years ago, and he built it himself. He got a big ass machine that cuts wood, and he said that even though he's a carpenter by trade, but he said that everything that he knows, he learned it through YouTube. He put on YouTube videos and he learns. So again, you don't have to go to school. You got YouTube, right? So there are things that you can do, because back in the days, anyone who's my age would know that you had encyclopedias. People had people selling you encyclopedias. So they go to your house. Let's say we want to sell you Britannica encyclopedias, or you have to go to the library and look stuff up. Nowadays, you have technology at your fingertips. So there's no excuse for your child to get an F. There's no excuse for your child to fail a grade, because everything is in their fingertips. They can just on their phone, doop, 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 and boom, it's right there. That's the thing about growing up in today's age. The technology is so advanced. Not when we were here. So he built that by himself. A city boy couldn't do that unless a city boy knows how to do it. But being that he's from here, being that he's from the country, and when you're out here, it's not much to do unless you like science, unless you like math. But when you're out here, you're taught. You live in a farm. You wake up in the morning. You do your animals. You do your yarn. You do this. You do that. That's all you know how to do. So when you get your own place, it's like right here, I have this space right here. If I knew how to do this, I probably would have made that shed a little bit bigger, make it from there all the way down there, and I would have insulated it. And it would have cost me. It probably would have cost me maybe $10,000, but instead of 30, 40, and then I would insulate it. I can make a small little house right there for the kids. Whatever they can be. I can do a lot here, but I just don't know how. At least not yet. I've only been living here for a year. So hopefully God gives me another 40 years left, and I can learn on my own. That's the point of life too. Life is full of learning. You gotta learn. Like you said, your son's a fisherman. That's guys don't give credit. People don't give credit to those fishermen. To work in a boat as a fisherman, lobsterman, that takes a lot of guts. And your hands, some must have a lot of calluses, because to hold that rope, it's not easy. And then to lift up that net, even though you have the machine to lift it up, still you have to open it up. and you have to take out the fish, you have to take out the lobster. There's a lot of work to it. No, I can imagine. I can imagine there's a lot of work. I see it on TV, and on TV, I was like, wow, that's hard. So just imagine doing it in real life. Just imagine it to sustain yourself so you can make a living. It's kind of hard. That's what America is all about. Busting your ass. Busting your ass. Does he get paid good? Excuse my hair. But yeah, you gotta bust your ass in life. You gotta do what you gotta do. It says Melissa Baez. So you Melissa, oh, Melissa Bees. I thought it said Baez. Melissa Bees. Yes, he has a nice life. Well, it's a fisherman's life, right? But it's good. I mean, as long as he likes it, and he's doing good, and hopefully one day out of this experience comes his own business. That's all that matters. Because it's very important that you become your own businessman, because you don't have to take shit from nobody. No one can tell you nothing. Oh, you work for me. You gotta do what I tell you. And sometimes you gotta take shit from bosses. Melissa is a Greek name, means honey or honeybee. But all right? But are you Greek? Hence bees. Okay. Thank you for that clarification and for that tidbit. I was unaware. I have a friend of mine whose name is Melissa Gao. May she rest in peace. I'm not Greek. Okay. I had a Greek girl. Her name was Agatha. Now you know that's Greek. I was like 18. How old was I? No, I was like 17 years old. Yeah, I was 17. She was 17. Agatha from the Bronx. I'm a regular white lady. A white lady from Maine. Well, welcome to my show, Melissa Bees from Maine. And if I would have been in Maine, you know how many lobsters I would be eating every day? I love lobster. One of my favorite things to eat. Not too many ways you could do lobster, but when you do them, the biggest lobster I ever saw one time, I think it was like 20 pounds when I was working at a restaurant. Oh, thank you, Melissa. I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Don't forget, Melissa, if you love my show, don't forget that you can join my subscription. I have 3 different tiers on my subscription: $1.99, $2.99. I think it's $4.99 a month. And since I haven't had too many people on, because on the $4.99 a month, I wanted to do lives with members of that community that only us can talk. And people can listen, but no one can interfere with our conversation. I'm going to do something different. You had a 26-pound, but did you eat a 26-pounder? That's a lot of meat. Because when you get a 1-pound lobster, there's not much to do with a 1-pound lobster. Not even a 2-pound lobster. 26 pounds, ooh, I'll be in heaven. I'm like this. 26 pounds. Wow. The tail was as, but did you eat it or you throw it back? Oh, or are you allowed to keep those is there a limit? Oh, you 5 was 8. Ooh. When you go fishing, when you go fishing in Maine, is there a limit as to what you can catch? As per se, how many or by pounds? It was very illegal. I love it. You wasn't gonna let that go by. You would take the ticket. You'd be like, screw it. It's worth the ticket. I don't know how much it is, but it's worth the ticket. This is 26 pounds. That's a lot of lobster. You know, when I was in Florida, I had a girlfriend there, and we were in West Hollywood, and her father took me to a place And I only saw these kind of things on TV on the Discovery Channel, and I shit you not, the whole parking lot was full of crabs. Ooh, a Dremel tool. And it was that hard. So we saw a whole parking lot. I guess they were migrating, and we saw. I'm talking about there must have been over 3,000-4,000 crabs on the street just walking from one side to the other, and you were able to pick them. And my father-in-law at that time took like around a bucket because you can only take a bucket. You can't take more than a bucket. But there were a lot of crabs. They were like this big. A Dremel too. You like. I don't know. I like my lobster. How do you like lobster? The meat. Well, I'm a very simple person. Yes, I do like crabs. What's lobster? What's crab? I like crabs, but here it's kind of hard to get crabs. Look, the other day, which I don't recommend, I bought tilapia from from Walgreens, and that was the worst. When I tasted it, it tasted rubbery. When I bought shrimp from Walgreens, which is great value because now Walmart is trying to push their product through, and great value sucks. And I tasted their shrimp. Their shrimp is horrible. So and then the other day I saw like 4 or 5 crab legs, long from Walmart. And I was like, nah, I'm not gonna buy it. Not there at least. They don't have well where I live at, they don't have Aldi's. They had Aldi's in New York. No, no, not Aldi, they had lids. See, in Puerto Rico, what I used to do in Puerto Rico, I used to go. I was only maybe 25 minutes away from the shore. So from my hometown to the next hometown, I lived in a town called Las Piedras. So I used to go to a town called Humacao. And in Humacao, like around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the fishermen used to come in and they used to bring lobster, fish, octopus. So I bought them fresh from the fishermen, you know, instead of going into the supermarket. So I used to buy it fresh from them, which is the best thing to do is to buy it fresh anyway. So yes, I do like crab legs. Um, I like octopus, but it has to be made in a certain way. I just can't just like that octopus. I'm not too big on oysters. I don't like oysters. My father, when he used to drink, he used to guzzle them down. Octopus is good. Squid and octopus are like the same thing, but I've never tried it. If it's cooked right, I would give it a try. I give anything a try once. Now I don't like oysters. My dad was an alcoholic, so I remember he used to buy a bucket and then salt, and then came down to Bacardi. See, one of the reasons I might like squid, probably if done right. One of the reasons that my father's liver never went out was because my father always ate before he drank. So the liver it absorbs everything that you eat and drink. So if you're drinking a lot of alcohol and you have nothing to eat, nothing in your stomach, so who's going to absorb it? The liquor. So if you feed yourself, it's like a sponge. If you eat a lot before you drink, all that food that you have inside is going to absorb it, and your liver doesn't have to do much of the work. We call squid calamari. Yes, calamari. Calamari is good. The Italians use a lot of calamari. When you deep fry them, deep fried. Yeah, I can taste the calamari deep fried. I tasted it like that. Oh, Italians love calamaris. I worked in many, I worked in many Italian restaurants, and that's their thing. Calamaris. Let me get a calamari. And they take it the sauce and they put it in the sauce and mangia, mangia. It's very, very, very good. I love Italian food. I love seafood. Of course, I love my own home food. You know. So you said you're a simple white lady. So what nationality, white nationality are you besides white? I like food too. So you gotta try Puerto Rican food. If there's nothing in Maine, go somewhere where it's Puerto Rican food and ask them that you want some rice, some beans, some. You can go with chicken and you can go with pork roast or a nice little skirt steak with rice, with white rice and red beans. That tastes good. Only thing is here in North Carolina, they don't sell skirt steak. Are you Irish, English, and French? Oh my. So you're Irish, so you got the liquor in you. You're English, and you got French, so it means you got the croissant. Mm. You got the alcohol in you, the English, and the French. That's a pretty combination. What's an empanada? Well, an empanada is basically fried dough. You could have it, plain. You could fry it plain, or you could put, or inside of the empanada, you could, depending who does it. Puerto Rico does it differently than Mexico. Mexico does it different than the Salvadorians, but it's fried, and you could put, you could do it plain. You could do it plain, or you could do it inside. You could put chicken inside. You could put lobsters inside. You know, an empanada with lobster, that tastes good. A shrimp empanada, not that good. An empanada with shark, that tastes good too. But it's all basically fried. You take the dough, boom, boom, boom. You fry it and you open it up, put something inside, and that's it. Puerto Ricans don't eat too many. We eat them, but it's not no, it's not our thing. That's empanadas is basically, it's more of a Mexican, southern southern thing, like Mexicans, Ecuadorians, Salvadorians, Nicaraguans. Yes, there's something like that. I'm gonna show you one of these days, but my wife does them. The kids love them. You could do it, but you could do even empanadas of pizza empanada. And I don't like them like that, but you have them. So, like if you go to Puerto Rico and you go to these little kiosks that they have outside, these little mom and pops kiosks, they sell a lot of empanadas. That's what they sell, and they make their money there. If you go into the country and you see people selling in the streets, they sell you shish kebabs that taste good, pork shish kebab, chicken shish kebab. You got people saying empanadas. You got people selling you alcapurrias. Oh, Dominicans, okay, but Dominicans, they're tasting food. It's somewhat like ours, but they're more with plantains. They're more with they love salami. My kids are half Dominican. Their fathers are half Dominican. You know, so ours is basically mostly different. Ours, you go to Puerto Rico, you got some alcapurrias, you got some pasteles, you got some what you would call it, mofongo. They got mondongo. Mofongo is basically Dominican. You got mofongo. That's a lot of plantains. That tastes good too. I don't like it that much because it's too dry for me. You could have it with shrimp. You could have it with pork. You got morcilla, which is the tripe of the blood of the pig. That tastes good too. If you're into that, we got pasteles, which is good, which is green bananas, and you flatten them out, and then you put some meat, whatever meat that you want. You can make it vegetable if you want, and you just cover them. That tastes good. Yeah, man. Jamaican man. So your daughter like this Caribbean. Your daughter like Caribbean man. Hey man, good for her man. Awesome. You know that marijuana now is legal in Jamaica. You know, I shit you not. I was living in the Bronx one time, right? And a friend of mine tells me, "Yo, Giovanni, go get me a bag of weed." And I go to the Jamaican place. And the Jamaican place, you go inside. It Did you go inside and they were all playing dominoes? And I said, "Yo, I want a nickel bag. I want a nickel." He goes, "Yo, man, yo, go right there, man. Go get it yourself, man." And I'm like, "Wait, man, open up the refrigerator, man." I open up the refrigerator. They had all their weed in there. Like, "Go ahead, man. Don't worry about it, man." I'm like, "Wow, you got this weed in the refrigerator." But back then, the weed was illegal. But it was just how open they had it. If you go to the Bronx, in the Bronx, around 242nd Street by the 2 train, all that's Jamaican. Well, legal weed, marijuana should be legal everywhere. I think that marijuana, it's something that you cut off the middleman. It does have its benefits. It benefits. Shit, you know how many people die every year of alcohol, of drunk driving, and the state makes money out of that. So if it's you could use it for medicinal purposes, and if you could tax it, and decriminalize all these people that are in prison for having a bag of weed. You know what's that to do 10 years in jail for a bag of weed? And here comes a pedophile, molests a kid, only gets a year or two. Come on. Yeah, I know Jamaicans love weed. Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so. Well, my battery is going dead. So nice talking to you, Melissa. It's been a pleasure. I'm gonna do it. If I don't do a live tonight, I'm definitely doing live all this weekend. All this week. So I'll see you then. So if you guys let me know what's a good time for me to do a live for you, so you can let me know. So I usually do my lives around 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So if 8 o'clock at night is good for you, I just wanted to do one today because I was bored upstairs. My Mets lost. Yeah. So hopefully, who knows? One day I'll take a trip down to Maine, and you introduce me to your family, and we'll go and we eat some Maine. And if we find another 26 lobster or 36, yes, we doing this. We doing it illegal. Yes, we are eating it. I'll take the blame. If I have to go to jail for 5 days, I'll take it. I'll do the jail time. I'll do it. I'll take the beat. Don't worry about it. All right. Thank you very much. God bless you guys. Just let me know. Let me know before the summer ends, though. Take care, guys.